Hello and welcome back to the channel Cybersecurity Nation. Your free ethical hacking guide continues with day 15. In our last video, we looked at how to download and install Metasploitable for Kali Linux Labs. Today, we dive into how to hack a website. Before we proceed, let's understand what is a website. This is a set of web pages located on a server. These web pages have images, videos, text, and interactive elements. They aim to provide a seamless user experience. There are several uses for websites. They help social interactions, internet commerce, and information provision. When a user with an internet connection enters a website address into the browser, it involves many steps to retrieve and display the page. The domain name system translates a domain name into an IP address. This lets the browser find the website's server. Once connected, the server delivers HTML code, JavaScript files, CSS files, and other resources that make up the web page. Now, this is just a basic introduction to websites. So, today we're looking at how to hack a website. Last week we installed Metasploitable. If you've not already installed your Metasploitable, please watch our last tutorial and guide on how to install Metasploitable and set it so the IP range will be the same as our local host. Now, if you check our IP range with the command ifconfig, you see it's 192.168.0.85 in our Kali Linux machine. It's similar in the same network. So I'll open up the terminal here. ifconfig is 192.168.0.79. So let's start by looking at how to discover subdomains and hidden directories. So understand these subdomains. So subdomains, they're like a subdomain is the prefix added to a main domain name. Example is dev.google.com or mail.google.com, whereas the domain name is just google.com. Subdomains often lead to completely different web applications or legacy systems that are less secure. So why do we target subdomains? The truth is subdomains are often good mines for ethical hackers for various reasons. Admins frequently host control panels or database management interfaces like PHP, MyAdmin on subdomains. Developers use subdomains to test new features. These experimental versions often contain unpatched bugs or lack the security headers of the production site. Gaining access to a weak subdomain can provide a foothold on the server. Once inside, a hacker can attempt or escalate privileges to control the entire web server. Subdomains may host staging sites containing real user data configuration files that shouldn't be public. Now that we know what subdomains are and the importance to an ethical hacker, let's proceed to understand how we can set our Metasploitable lab so it is easy for us to perform attack on it. So I'll start by I already know the IP address of our Metasploitable 192.168.0.85. Come to our Kali Linux machine and launch Firefox browser. just by typing 192.1. This is the IP address of my Metasploitable lab. Click enter. You see it is a web page. Metasploitable 2, just by typing the IP address, you see the sub folders. Here, click Multi-Lide. So Multi-Lide is deliberately vulnerable PHP scripts. It's designed for pen testers to be able to practice hacking skills. Let's begin by changing the Metasploitable security level. Click this DVWA. The username is admin. Password is just password. Click login. So come down here and DVWA security, click change. The security level changes the vulnerability level of DVWA to low. Click submit. Now this should change the level of security. So security level is currently low. Next, open up Kali Linux machine. Just like I showed you previously, to download, we need to make sure we're downloading from a secure source. Before we proceed to learn how to discover subdomains, first let's understand what is a subdomain. So a subdomain is the prefix added to a main domain name. Example, your main domain name is google.com. Subdomain name could be dev.google.com or mail.google.com. While the main domain might be heavily fortified, subdomains often lead to completely different web applications. Let us proceed on how to discover subdomains. To do that, we need to download a tool called Knockpy. Open Firefox browser. I showed you last time you must download from a reliable source, and I recommended GitHub. Say Knockpy. GitHub is a good way to search. So we have here Knockpy. Let's use this link. You can get the download link by clicking here, code. You see this HTTPS? Just copy all to clipboard by clicking this icon. Also, you see the usage here, how to use it, run it, the program, Knockpy, and the domain which you wish to run the scan on or find subdomain on, word list, the text, and various options you can use along the command. Installation means the prerequisite means you should have installed Python. And you see here it also says download git clone and the download link. So let me begin. Open up the command and our terminal and git clone, Control Shift V to paste in Knockpy link. Before I do that, I always like to download to my desktop. So what I'll do is clear the screen and change directory to desktop. Now we are in the desktop directory. I can proceed to download Knockpy. Our download is complete. Change directory to Knockpy. We're in Knockpy directory. Run Knockpy help menu to see how we can use Knockpy. So this is important. Specify the domain with hyphen d DNS double hyphen DNS timeout threads, and you can use the brute force option or the recon option. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how to use the recon option. The brute force option could take a long time to complete the scan, which is why I've decided to use the recon option. So to use the recon option, you specify double dash recon. So let's begin. Run Knockpy. Domain and say I want to find subdomains on google.com. Specify the domain, and we're using the recon. So the command is straightforward. To run it, Knockpy, the domain option, specify the domain which you want to find subdomain on, and specify if you want to use the recon or brute force option. In this case, I'm using the recon option. Once you're done, you're satisfied, click the enter key, and your scan will begin. The scan has been completed in less than 16 seconds. We're able to discover 61 domains, and let me go through them. See here, we found ghs.google.com and mtalk.google.com, eggroll.x.google.com, mtv-da.x.google.com, alcans.google.com. Good thing it also provides the IP address, the HTTP, all the information that might be helpful in your ethical hacking progress. Google.com, which is the main domain, AI Studio at google.com, android.clients.google.com. So like I said, these are subdomains of the domain name google.com. So if you want to carry out an attack, this is where you start from. You can carry this. Please, this is for educational purpose only. Only carry out this attack on website you have permission to perform attacks on. So next, we're going to proceed to discovering sensitive files and directions.